Fuck! He's dead! Bloody vermin! Take its head!
When did you join the guard? 2 days ago. This is my first patrol.
Ain't safe here for a gentleman. Die first! It's elite! Christ!
This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
You all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it!
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you.
Name's Albert. Remember it.
What happened? Did you
Hey! I didn't do anything!
Medication and drugs.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here.
It's true. I'm not familiar.
I said sod off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy?
Never heard of her. She's prettier.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me.
Goodbye, young man.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lappy.
You have a leg. What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of a street. Not the best thing to do.
What? You saw?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few...
No. Look, I'm not a violent man.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pip.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he did...
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that... I'm...
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it?
The doctors called me a liar. A coward.
What about those we left behind, face down in the mud?
It's not that simple. I wouldn't have
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane?
Funny, I've been searching for her too.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's just a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal
A gun, alcohol.
The wet boots will be proud of me. Me? I'll not die in some...
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous...
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous...
Oh, really? Why didn't...
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir.
Tell me, who intrigues you
The
most?
region itself is something to see, but I would say... Camellia the Me...
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate.
Is there anyone...
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard removed...
Do you know...
I don't like to talk about...
competition?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical...
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
The Swanbrook... Cordial can be...
Good evening.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine. Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely...
I'm not here for a bounty.
A doctor?
Do you require assistance?
Not me, but...
It's unusual to see someone so happy.
Why should I be sad?
That's an unusual...
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another...
What is your business?
I offer fair lodging.
I see.
Well, deals can...
I don't approve... Tell me,
People are just beginning to...
what do you mean?
People are acting...
What help?
That's simple.
Mr. Bates.
I understand.
I've no...
So it's a no, then.
You seem to...
Not much.
You'd better not... I want to know...
Well, rent...
I don't believe...
Glad to hear.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse. What can you tell me about her?
Dorothy Crane. Bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Has she treated you?
No.
Tell me truthfully, why are you so thankful?
By keeping my tenants alive.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now, goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
This district seems to get uglier every year.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
This district seems to get uglier every year.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed.
Doctor? Interesting. Our Barrett...
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and...
I see. Sounds like you...
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed...
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war?
Violence is increasing.
Yeah,
Where did this
in
happen?
the closed workshop.
Have you been hurt?
No.
Have you heard of a nurse?
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Look.
Yes, she's a nurse. And quite a good...
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supply.
Right then. Show me what... Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one.
I'm not a journalist. I'm a
A doctor, you say? It's quite a...
Really? But still, here I am.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes...
According to you...
Not familiar.
This part of town...
Totally.
How did you become the local bully everyone...
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards.
A job?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Most people don't...
I don't care what you think.
I'm not sure...
Oh, do you read?
Have you heard of...
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her.
Could you please tell me more about...
She's a nice girl. Tries to...
Goodbye, Mr...
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I...
All right then, but be quick, though I usually...
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic...
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't...
Considering your line of...
If it is going to happen, it will happen.
You can put your own life in danger. That's your...
And you think that would worry me? If you...
Do you know Nurse Dorothy?
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crasionescu. She came...
You seem to respect her. Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me?
I have no interest in your work.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused...
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good...
Goodbye, miss.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Why are the news...
There's a war going on.
I served in France.
Sir, streets...
Have you any...
I've had to run...
Really? What is a journalist doing in this bar?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go.
So you risk your...
Whitechapel is the crucible...
That's quite honorable.
Not at all, sir. And...
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and...
Do you think things will ever change?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that...
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital.
Ah, could it be Dorothy?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist.
I don't know much about the man. He's very court.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would know.
Where can I find him?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his...
Really?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Goodbye.
You look so pale, my lord. Would you like me to revive you?
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fibre.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. I know you understand what I'm saying. Very well. Goodbye then. Hello again, miss. Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well. Goodbye then. The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. It's locked.
Against malevolence and trickery.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you?
I'm a poet, sir.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a...
But are you not a...
Oh, why should I?
If you say so.
Thank you, Doctor.
What are your thoughts?
Terrible, you...
What are you talking about?
Do you remember...
Yes.
Most people fail.
Are you aware?
But this is where
I understand.
I don't care.
If some miss...
Well, you, for a start.
May I ask...
Extraordinary part of town, is it not?
I'm looking for
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name.
What can you tell me about an old man?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first...
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in print...
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Some trickery.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. I should never have taken it. We can talk about losses. Perhaps I should look into it.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop the...
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side?
I'm nothing like you.
Yes, you are. You too.
I have to admit your words have conviction.
Talking about this.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you...
We've not been formally introduced.
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here.
So Dorothy's real name is not...
Like myself and many people in this area.
She seems important.
More than you can imagine.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to...
Are you not worried for her?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her...
Who is she, really?
She's not from around here, that's...
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly
Tell me everything.
I do not...
Do you have it?
Who knows?
Don't be embarrassed, sir.
It's quite awkward to talk about
this war.
No.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free...
But it's not the country I fought for. My hope...
How did you meet Nurse Crane?
I'm her oldest friend in England.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you?
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets.
Goodbye, Mr. It's locked. Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed.
Dr. Reed, do something!
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, doctor. He's still bleeding, doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, doctor?
I can't see. I have this, nurse. Allow me to finish the procedure alone. I need the room.
I'd prefer to stay and see this through. This is my patient, doctor. I have needle and thread for stitching the wound.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, doctor!
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along? We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could? Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and...
But why Lady Ashbury?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she will...
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people...
So, the end justifies...
I know you're kind, Doctor.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
This one stinks already.
It's a leech! Murdering bastard!
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy! Stop!
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again. Do you need medical attention?
Well, the proximity of the dead is not the most healthy company, even if the quiet can be appreciated.
Don't take too many risks with your health, Mr. Chidana. None of us are immune to this disease.
And that is a good thing. Death and disease is...
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
I need blood, Doctor.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
It was a misunderstanding.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters...
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal.
Thank you. I'll keep... Tell me, Thelma.
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
No.
But what am I Why kill me, brother? We could have ruled this land together. And forever.